What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the hold on. Sorry, guys. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another issue of the Comic Bookies podcast. Episode 135 is here. Comic Bookie Sean is still on baby watch, but Comic Bookie Mike and Sean are here to collide the worlds of sports and comics like every single week. First up is sports this week. We're going to check in on a little bit of soccer in the EPL and Champions League. We will recap the college football conference championship games and look forward to the Final Four playoffs. And the Super Contest is here again for another week. Two of us went 4-0. Who are they and how are the standings shaken up? You will find out soon. And over in comic books, we have plenty of books to get into from 2 weeks ago, including a review of about 4 or 5 number ones, but how many of them are we actually going to pull on our pull list? And plenty of news, including Colin Farrell is still going to be the Penguin, Charlie Cox is back as Daredevil, and I give an Encanto review. I saw it with my daughter last week. So strap in, sit tight, and enjoy another episode of the Comic Bookies podcast. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Mark, were you talking to somebody? I was like, what the heck? Because you're on mute the whole time.
Didn't you want me to be?
It was funny because before I went I can still see you on Skype, and it was weird. It was like, oh, what the hell? I can still see Mark, but he's like talking and hella laughing. So I was like, oh god, he's doing something else. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, my boy called me, the one that be gambling. He's like, man, you need to interview me, man. He's like, I'm like the Mexican Wilt Chamberlain. You know, I had sex with hella bitches. He's like, in all the fucking books that have banned me.
God.
I'm like, you would be. I was like, you would kind of be a wild interview, though. That's the fool that got me into gambling. Fool be playing games for like 5,000 and shit. Boy got stories.
Nice. All right, well.
He's like, well, you're gonna have to come up with some money, B. He's like, this shit ain't for free, but it costs a fee. He's like, I'm the best that ever did it and got away with it. Fool's hella
Is he from
funny,
Newark?
Dude. No, he's from Oakland.
You just knew him from work or something? Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks everyone for joining in. We have sports. If you're tuning in right now, we're doing sports first, so we'll get into that as soon as Mark can turn his camera back on. We'll go and get started. Unless he's doing some illegal activity that would get us banned from Skype and Streamlabs, and
I don't do anything illegal, man. California, everything.
No, that would be Oregon, my friend. Not yet California.
Oh yeah, that is right.
Okay, cool. So episode 135. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining in. Let's go back live in 5, 4. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Comic Bookies podcast. Thank you so much for watching live on YouTube and Twitch, or if you're listening right now, wherever you get your podcasts, thank you so much for the support. We are brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California, like every single week. Tomorrow, December 8th, 2021, is New Comic Book Day, so please head on down to Treasure Island or to any shop that you visit and get your pull list started. Alex is a great guy. He's got a great shop, great community, great group of people coming in and out every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. He can get your books, old and new, however you want it. Mark, how's it going, man? Sean's is on baby watch still. His wife, Marissa, has still not gone to the hospital, still has not given them their brand new baby boy, but and unfortunately, next week, since I'll be in Anaheim at Disneyland, we will not be recording next week. So by the time that we record the following week, right before Christmas hits, Sean will be a proud new father. So, but how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm doing all right. Another week. We're here. Glad to have you here, brother. It's going to be fun as we discuss these sports, these comics and whatnot. But Sean, man, it's like the saying goes, man, I don't want to hear about the labor. Just show me the baby already. Guy just keeps telling us how much damn pain his wife is in. And no disrespect to Marissa. We know she's hurting and whatnot. And she just wants the baby out by now. I remember my wife when she was in the last month. It's just I'm sure it just feels like it's just like a balloon just ready to
Mm-hmm.
pop. You just want the kid out, right? So it's just a poor guy keeps telling us about the pain and the discomfort that she's in, but just ready to see the baby boy already and whatnot. But in due time, he will be here, like you said. Even if we were recording next week, I'm pretty sure that he'd be here by next week. Not here yet, but he'll show his face in this
I'm
world
doing
pretty
good,
soon here,
man.
man. How are you?
Getting ready to kick off a new work week. Next week, got 4 days in a row, and then I go off to Anaheim for a whole week. So that's pretty cool. Get to celebrate my daughter's birthday. Kind of our COVID makeup. Yeah,
Sold
I guess
out.
like we
Sold
watched the
out.
video. We keep trying to watch these videos to see like what's new and upcoming. That reminds me, we will be discussing Genie Plus, which comes out tomorrow for Disneyland, but we'll discuss that later in the comics and entertainment side of the podcast. But yeah, no, it's like a COVID makeup trip because we were supposed to go April of 2020. Obviously, that didn't happen. So this is our makeup. So kind of like that. Slash, my daughter's turning 4 later this month. So yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. And then come back, and then before you know it, there's Christmas and then New Year's. And then 2021 has come to a close.
It has came and gone as quick as
real.
2020 came, and let's just hope that 2022 can be a little bit better. Because golly, am I a little bit scared sometimes? But we saw a little crash in the market coming on Black Friday and whatnot. Just couple, it was kind of had a couple days that were bleeding, and I'm like, everyone's thinking, "Or is it coming? Is it coming?" Had the Fed talking about some stuff and whatnot, but it rebounded again. So we'll see. Maybe have a little Santa Claus rally in time for the holidays. But I just hope that going into 2022, things get a little bit better. We can hit a couple cons. We can do a couple more interviews. We can, get in some what was it,
Yeah, I know.
Potapalooza we were in. But it'd be a lot funner to just get out there and network. I know it's gonna be even harder this year, obviously, with COVID restrictions still upon us, with you being a little bit farther with your younger son, and with Sean obviously about to have a newborn. Who knows what the future is gonna hold for us in 2022? But hopefully, some things open up and restrictions ease, and our networking can get to what it was back in 2019 when everything was
Yeah,
good globally,
I know.
right?
I mean, yeah, I just can't wait to get a sense of normalcy. Like obviously, it's been getting more and more normal, I guess. Even with I saw a funny meme the other day. What was the new variant strand? Like the I call it like the Omegatron because that's what it sounded like. It sounded like it's some Optimus Prime stuff.
It's
Omicron or
like
whatever. So
Omicron
I
or
see news about it for
Omnicron
like 2 days, and then all of a sudden I don't really hear about it. And then someone posted a meme like 3 days after of that scene in Jurassic Park where the big dude, Newman from Seinfeld, was like, Omicron, Omicron, instead of like Dotson. We got Dotson here, and he goes, see, nobody cares.
Yeah, who even knows how they're coming up with these names anymore? It's like, are they Greek, ancient, or like Roman type names? Are they actual
Yeah,
scientific names? I
I mean,
mean, I don't know. Delta, they name one after an airline
yeah.
company, and it's just, I don't even know where they're getting these names from. I mean, I'm sure that's just probably some scientist or something that listened to our podcast that's saying, you idiot, you
Yeah,
fool, it's this and that. But if anybody knows, let us know in the comments, or
yeah,
email us at the comic book
right.
or at gmail.com, right? But
But I mean,
love to know some insight.
it's still a real thing. Obviously, it's still as real as the flu. It's still as real as cancer. It's like a real thing. So I mean, it's still a cause for concern if you're ever going to test positive or whatever. When you hear like a coworker or whatever test positive. So especially this week, just to be safe. I'm not really quarantining, but I'm not rushing to take the kids anywhere. Just like I don't want to chance anything. Like I already got a Disneyland trip canceled, so I'm not doing anything. If I don't have to take the kids anywhere, like I'm not. I'm taking a solo trip to the grocery store. I'm taking a solo trip to get gas or get like an oil change or whatever. I'm not taking any chances this week. I want all 4 of us to be 100% healthy and ready to go Sunday morning when I get home, and for us to drive down to Anaheim. That's it.
Definitely. And I think that this Omicron is supposed to be a little bit less severe than what was the
Hope so.
Delta, right? And hopefully that is the truth, because, if this can be like the main strand or the main variant that's floating around right now, but yet it's a little bit less worse or contagious, or detrimental to someone's health, then I'll take that over the Delta or over the original COVID-19 virus before all these
Yeah.
damn mutations. But, we're about to
Yeah.
mutate this damn podcast, and the best one you're going to hear all week because this is episode 135 of the Comic Bookies podcast,
Yeah, dude. All right,
baby.
so let's get
do
into
it,
some
man.
soccer, some pitch action. So we have Champions League, the round robin. The group stages are about to come to a close. We have the EPL in full swing. Liverpool's right on Manchester City's ass in the EPL. We have a few teams who have already gone on and clinched a spot in the round of 16, and there are other teams who have yet to clinch. So go ahead, man. Start with whichever one you want to first.
Yeah, we can start with a little bit of Champions
Okay.
League, I guess. Today, we had some games, obviously, rounding out and ending the group stage, like you mentioned. First of all, I'd like to give a little shout out to my Liverpool Reds, obviously going to Milan and handling business with another Divock Origi game winner, pretty much. It was 1-1. He won it for them 2-1, such as he did in the EPL over the weekend with the Wolverhampton Wanderers, and he won that also 2-1. But man, Liverpool, the first European team in history to actually go through the whole group stage in the UEFA Champions League undefeated. So all your Man Cities, Mike, your Manchester United, and the Chelseas, and Tottenham's and all these other big six teams that have been able to make it to Champions League. Liverpool was the first one
nice.
actually to be able to go undefeated in the group stage. So that's not bad. We got Dortmund beating the crap out of Besiktas. Man City actually losing to Leipzig. They're in, though. Atletico beating Porto, and just Sporting losing to Ajax, but they are into the next round. Pretty
7
cool for
points
the
and
Portugal team.
Jesus, come on, Porto and Milan. Come on, what are you doing?
Right.
So Ajax, and then what does it look like? Sporting gets in on goal differential over Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund is not punched the ticket to the round of 16, so that's crazy. Real Madrid and Inter, they are going on, and then you still have four groups going on. So it looks like Bayern Munich obviously clinched a spot, but you still have Benfica and Barcelona fighting for that last spot. Benfica's behind 2. I don't know who plays each other. I don't have that schedule up, but Benfica's only behind 2. So Barcelona loses Benfica.
And those games are tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, right? We're going to obviously find out the next 4 tomorrow, I think.
Manchester United has clinched a spot because they have 10 and the third place has 6. So there's no way Atalanta can jump them, but they can jump Villarreal. So I think Manchester United has at least clinched a spot in the round of 16. Let's see, Lyle, I don't know how the hell you pronounce it, but they have 8 points. And FC Salzburg, Sevilla's got 6. Wolfsburg, no one is eliminated from that Group G. That's crazy. Lyle, that's how I'm gonna pronounce it. Sorry. They have 8 points. FC Salzburg has 7. Sevilla has 6, and Wolfsburg has 5. That's crazy. And then, of course, you have Group H, which it doesn't matter who wins these games tomorrow. Chelsea and Juventus are moving on to the next round with Zenit St. Petersburg and Malmo getting eliminated. But have you seen that Group G, Mark? Look at that. 8, 7, 6, 5 points. No one is eliminated from that group yet, technically.
Now, who's in it? Sorry, I had to.
Is it Lyle?
My daughter
Lil?
came
Lyle?
in real quick.
No, Lille. It looks maybe Italian or French, but so they have 8. FC Salzburg has 7. Sevilla has 6, and Wolfsburg has 5. Literally, no one's eliminated yet. So that's gonna be a crap.
Wow.
Yeah, that's gonna be a crazy last day.
I mean, just if you just look at the teams, you kind of could tell that maybe that group was going to end up something like that, right?
Just from a namesake would probably win that group. I don't know.
We actually got some odds here, Mike, for some teams. Benfica is actually a favorite to advance from the group stage over Barcelona, 165 to 120. We got Atalanta. It's a favorite over Villarreal. Leal is actually I've never seen them before. You're right. Lille. They're actually favorites to win that group, actually. They're even money right now. You can get them at with Salzburg 2-1, Sevilla almost 4-1, and Wolfsburg sitting there at a 7-1. So
they are 11th place right now in the French league. But they might move on to the round of 16 for Champions League.
So that means they did good last season in their French league, Ligue 1, which I actually have not paid attention to really ever on a regular basis. Sorry for our French listeners if we have any out there. But man, hopefully, I always like seeing new blood, in these rounds after these group stages. I think it's cool. We saw Young Boys a couple years ago. Obviously, Ajax, they're not as predominantly known these days. I mean, they still are in Europe, but they're not one of those bigger clubs, even though they've got Champions League wins under belt.
Your Benfica is probably favorites to move on because they're the ones playing Dynamo Kiev. Barcelona is playing Bayern Munich. So that's probably why your odds are better, more favor for Benfica.
That's right. And I'm down actually to have another Portuguese team in there. Why not? I believe a couple years ago, only Benfica got in from the Portuguese league. I thought that they cut down how many teams were going to get in from certain leagues. I don't know if they expanded that again, but I know Benfica was the only one that made it a year or two ago. So that's cool to see another Portuguese team in there. Myself, obviously being Portuguese, the USA can't play in the Champions League. So why not go for some Portuguese teams if it can't be
Group
my
G is
Liverpool,
interesting because you have Lille is first place, playing last place Wolfsburg, so it shakes up everything if Wolfsburg can get that win and get up to 8 points, and then Salzburg plays Sevilla. So pretty much the winner of Salzburg and Sevilla, if there's an actual winner, will at least clinch a spot.
Where's the game?
Let's see. At FC Salzburg and at Wolfsburg. So actually, Lyle being on the road, dude, that's going to be a crazy game. It's going to be at noon tomorrow, so I can actually pay attention to before I go to work. So if any of those games are on TV, man, I'm tuning in for sure.
The odds makers never give up on Manchester City when it comes to these Champions Leagues odds. It just feels like every damn year they can't win it, but yet they're always favorites. Here they are again, 3-1. Bernardo Silva, another Portuguese man, has been balling in the EPL. We'll talk about that next real quick. But Bayern Munich 4-1. My Liverpool sitting right there in third at 5-1 with Chelsea. Your winners from last season 7-1. PSG with the newly acquired Messi can't even get a better than 7-1 odds. Real 14-1. Your Manchester United sitting at 16-1 with Ajax, as I just mentioned, 18. Atletico that squeaked by with those 7 points at 33-1. And who would have thought you lose Ronaldo and Juventus down to a 40-1 chance to win these Champions Leagues, which I don't even know if they're going to make the next group. I haven't looked at the table right now, but Mike, if you had to drop any futures bets going into this next round of the UEFA Champions League, who you taking? You taking City? You dropping a little bit of value on your Manchester United? Is my Liverpool going to be able to do it at 5-1? What do you think, man? Bayern Munich might be you might want to take like one, obviously, short shot, one long shot, one long shot. Bayern Munich, I think, could be a pretty good pick there. They're always perennial.
Yeah, they always perform. They're always there. Like there's a handful.
But it could be Manchester City's year, man. It's these these odds makers. I'm telling you, they could be wrong every other year. This could be a year that they could be right. I don't like Manchester City as much as I have in other seasons.
They're going to win the EPL and they're going to win this UCL?
Chelsea got it last season.
They're going to win the EPL and the Champions League? I don't know.
Right?
I hope not.
Man.
Yeah, so
we'll see.
Tune into all those games. So the group stage ends tomorrow. We of course will recap it when we come back in a couple weeks. Dude, let's get into EPL. So right now Manchester City sits 1 point ahead of Liverpool with 35, over them at 34, Chelsea with 33, and West Ham United rounds out the top four at 27 points. Just a couple.
So the Hammers got a draw with us, and they beat Chelsea.
Tottenham's actually there. Only 2 points out of fourth place with 25, and then Manchester United with an ungodly, Tottenham Hotspur with a -1 goal for differential, and Man U with a +1 goal differential, while Liverpool's up there at +32. I don't know. You spend more money than anybody, and they just. Why do I pick these franchises who are like, storied at one time, and then once I become a fan, I don't know. I think I might just drop. I might just drop everybody.
Spends more
I'll
money?
drop Man U. I'll drop USC football. I'll drop Raiders, A's, Sharks. Warriors are doing well, but
Right.
and I might just keep Kyle Larson until he retires, and then just completely give up sports and just watch it. Just be a fan of the sport. Like put everything, whether it's money or emotion, into the thing. Oh my God, just get disappointed every damn week, except for Kyle Larson. He's the silver lining, man.
Raiders losing 17 of 15, but we'll get back.
Hey, you know what?
Could have had
Thank
a
you,
chance.
Washington, for making me 4-0 this week. But God damn. I mean, that's the thing. I pick against them, but I want them, I'll take the loss. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, back to soccer. So I know you had futures on Champions League. I know you have futures on the EPL. Give me a synopsis. Give me like a review of what's been going on in the EPL. I don't know how much you've been getting into it. Sometimes I'm actually like getting off of work at halftime of some Man U games, like when they're playing at 4:35 o'clock. It's so weird. But what do you think? Manchester City, so after 15 games, what do you think? How is the rest of the 2021-2022 EPL season going to shape out?
It's been pretty fun thus far. I think that a couple teams, I don't really see any team running away with it. Obviously, with the top three being 1 point apart, Chelsea kind of lost it. They've been kind of leading the table after the great year they had last season, coming into this season as well. Pulisic doing his thing. I think that with Chelsea kind of faltering now, I think they're going to get back on the right track, but just put City right up there exactly where they want to be. It's just we got to have those West Hams, and we got to have maybe like an Arsenal and even like another team to draw a couple times with City, or even beat City, if that, to try to propel Chelsea, Liverpool, or even your Manchester United, had such great hopes, played pretty good last season, obviously acquired Ronaldo, was doing a little bit better, has faltered a little bit as of late, kind of going to get back on the right track, but it's still a long season, man. You guys know we haven't even gotten to Boxing Day yet,
Yep.
right? It's going to be December. We got January, February. The season ends in I think
Something like
May,
that,
right?
yeah.
So it's still it's like May. It's just such a long season. They've played 15 games so far. There's 38 games, I believe. No, wait, 40 games?
Yeah, 38,
play
because
each
they,
team.
yeah,
No,
'cause they don't play
38,
themselves,
right?
yeah.
Because because they don't play themselves.
Right.
The A versus the B team. 38 teams or
Not even
38
halfway.
games. We're at 15. Still a long way to go. And I actually like to see West Ham up there competing. As bad as Arsenal started at one point, like 3 games into the season, Arsenal was getting relegated if the season was to end back then. Look at them obviously climbing their way up to the top now, sitting at 7th. So they're making their way. Wolverhampton Wanderers, every single year, they seem to be that perennial 6th, 7th, 8th place finish. They can't just get over that hump, but at least they're not getting relegated, right?
They're going to be the
let's
Everton
see.
for the next 10 years. They're going to be the West Ham for the next 10 years. Like those teams are always going to be in the EPL, but they're never going to make that push, over a long season to propel themselves into not only a championship, but at least a top 4, so.
The Seagulls. I mean, the Seagulls haven't gotten relegated in a while, right? And I mean, every year though, they contend. I see them give Liverpool a little bit of some fits sometimes when they play, and it's just these teams, they don't get relegated, but they stick at the top of the middle of the Premier League, which is obviously the highest league in England, but we'll see, man. I hope Liverpool can do it. I know you hope Manchester United can do it. We know that Tottenham Hotspur. Sorry, Danielle, but they're probably not going to do it because they just don't get trophies. They don't win trophies. But sorry, all our Hotspur fans out there. But I see someone at work was talking to me about, actually not at work. Sorry. It was my basically brother-in-law now, my wife's sister's husband. he was telling me he was watching that Ted Lasso. He's like, I didn't know anything about soccer, and he's like, I'm kind of getting into it
that's so
now.
crazy
like
how that
the
show would
pitch,
get people into
you
soccer.
know. Yeah, I mean, well, kind of how FIFA got you
no,
into soccer,
it was video
right?
games.
If you,
Yeah, well, exactly. So it's like not actually watching the sport, and like you and like kind of the video game as well was like NASCAR. So it was like the same thing. It was like something that you wouldn't really like. Okay, so I think video games is a more realistic, example than a TV show or a movie, but it's out there.
I mean, that's pretty tactical, right? You get a cool actor, you put a cool pop behind it on a
Because it's
Apple TV, I think
it's Apple
right?
TV, I think, but it's also it's a comedy, right? Like it's not even like a drama. It's Jason's. It's
No, it is
it's
kind of
what's his name?
it's like a comedy.
Jason Sudeikis. So it's definitely a comedy.
Sudeikis, and he doesn't. He's I think he's a football coach here in America.
Yeah.
He doesn't know nothing about soccer, and then they send him over there to run a team, and then he doesn't know what. I heard that. I mean, he told me that it's funny as hell, and that it's actually getting him into soccer a little bit. He's like, I feel like I need to choose a team though, and I'm like,
there you go.
You see that banner up there?
He probably couldn't go wrong for
like, I don't know, man.
For some time to come to be a Liverpool fan.
He's going to be a City fan.
But I mean, so for our top like 5 to 6, for our top 5 to 6 teams, you have like new. West Ham has Burnley. Tottenham Hotspur has Brighton Hove and Albion, and then that's Sunday the 12th. And then come back to Saturday the 11th this weekend, you have Man City against Wolves. That's a pretty good game. Arsenal's up there playing against Southampton, Chelsea against Leeds, Liverpool against Aston Villa, and Man U against Norwich City. So when you really think about it, it looks like a lot of these top teams on paper should have wins, but you never know. Some of these upsets, like you said, if Man City can, if someone can squeak in a draw or defeat Man City, I think Wolverhampton Wanderers are one of the teams who can definitely do it. So we'll see a good weekend of soccer, of football to come.
Yeah, Mike, your bandwidth was kind of going off over there, but hopefully the listeners got to listen to what you were going to say.
You know what?
It
was weird. I was on ESPN looking at the scores. You can hear me fine okay right now? It was because an ad was playing and like the sound was coming into my ears. So I wonder if that kind of did that. But I can go ahead and start over. I can start that whole thought over and then edit this out. So
you were saying the Wolverhampton Wanderers were going to be who?
Yeah, no.
West
let me
Ham?
just start over for the whole thing. Just going into it, it's like. Yeah, but oh, Jesus, I just hit my thing. Well, this is live, everybody, so I hope you're enjoying it so far. But yeah, some of these top teams in the EPL so far, they like on paper, they have games so far this weekend on Saturday and Sunday that look to be easy wins, but we'll see. I mean, West Ham's got Burnley, Tottenham Hotspurs have Brighton Hove and Albion, and then coming here on Saturday, you have Manchester City against Wolves. There you go. There's one game that you can hopefully have Man City either draw or lose. Arsenal has Southampton. Chelsea's got Leeds. Liverpool has Aston Villa. And Man U has Norwich City. So we'll see a weekend hopefully of better games than it seems like on paper,
Definitely.
So, all right, cool. So from the pitch, we go to the football field. Let's go. So the last two sports we have of the evening, we have college football, which we're going to review some of these college football conference championship games and get into the final college football playoff voting. Mark, so I know you and my brother were kind of, going off on Saturday. Some of these games.
Yeah, we got to get your brother on. We really got to get your brother on this damn podcast so we can me and him can vent our sorrows.
I'll go disappear for a little bit, and then you guys can go ahead and do that. But yeah, I mean, Alabama is who we thought they were, and Oregon apparently didn't even care to show up either. So, but neither did Iowa.
Oregon basically started off.
Like, how many of these were actual good games? Like Baylor and Oklahoma State. That's like it.
Yeah, did you see that ending? That was pretty amazing ending.
Crazy.
I knew Iowa was going to kind of get trounced. Mm-hmm. Michigan's actually been a pretty damn good team this year. Say what you will about them. I think that Oklahoma State had a really good chance. I think that Georgia kind of played everybody. Vegas got a lot of money from that game, I'd say so. But I kind of played myself too. I'll be the first one to say it, and being able to admit why you were wrong and why your losses and why your handicapping and whatnot wasn't right is probably the first step that one on this journey to become a not professional but somewhat of a profitable sports winning or sports betting guy, right? But I'd be the first one to say it. I heard, I even text you guys that stat on Saban. Nick Saban hasn't been underdog. This is his first time being an underdog since 2015. And not only has he not been an underdog since 2015. I mean, 6.5, between 6-7 points. I don't think it ever reached 7 at any books that I'm familiar with. But at 6.5, the books kind of wanting you to chase that, that below touchdown favorite, right? Oh, Georgia this, Georgia that. You can get them at less than a touchdown. They put that half point on there for you so they can get a little bit extra more money for you as you up your juice and pay a little bit extra vigorish to get that 6.5 down to 6, and then you get smoked with no chance in hell at Georgia doing anything. I don't think it was their quarterback. My buddy texted me, said they're not starting Mike's old USC favorite in JT Daniels. They're actually going to start I forgot his name. What was the QB's name for Georgia?
What was his name?
SB something Shepherd. No, I forgot. I can't think about it right now. But, he threw a pick, couple mistakes. I don't think it was really on him. I just think that Bama really came to play. And like I said, I was a fool to think that Nick Saban.
Talking about Bennett.
If I would have handicapped this, Stetson
Stetson
Bennett or something, right? Yeah. Stetson Bennett. That's him. We'll see how he performs. But this is what I'm talking about. If I would have I thought about this after the fact, and this is what I hate. This happens so many times because before you play a game, you kind of stay oblivious to what you want to believe, and you kind of just focus on the road ahead and what you kind of blind out any other factors and whatnot. But after I got smoked on George, I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm like, it's BS, because if I would have thought about this before, Nick Saban, the first time he's an underdog since 2015, and he's getting damn near a touchdown. And on top of that, if he would have played like a wickedly amazing game the week before where he just trounced his opponent, Auburn had nothing to play for. Auburn was just garbage, and Alabama, 52 to 28, right? But no, that wasn't the case. Alabama had to go to how many overtimes to beat, in the Iron Bowl to beat Auburn down there at the Plains in Auburn, War Eagle. But they almost lost that game. So I should have known. Nick Saban pretty much almost coming off a loss and then being an underdog for the first time in 2015. I'm sorry, but Nick Saban pretty much almost lost that game in Auburn. And Nick Saban wasn't going to lose 2 damn games in a row. We all know that. Dude, that was easy money. When I sit here back, Monday morning quarterback, hindsight, you look back at it, 2020, whatever the hell you want to call it, that was a pretty damn easy game to handicap and just take Bama. Because his ass was not going to lose 2 games in a row. Bama, they had the better quarterback, that's for damn sure. He's going to win the Heisman after that damn performance. And just, man, I got played, but congratulations to Bama. They're sitting at number 1 on the college football playoff rankings now, Mike, with Michigan number 2. Georgia falls to number 3, obviously, because they won that all
right.
SEC final. We got Cincinnati and the Bearcats sitting at number 4. I see you shaking your head, but before I let you speak, Mike, I got to say one thing. Congratulations to the Cincinnati Barcats. I'm thinking about going to the Cincinnati Bearcats being the first group of 5 team not to make the college football playoff, guys. So not Big 12,
5,
not Big 10, not SEC, right? Not ACC, but group of 5 conference
there
to make the college football playoff.
AAC.
So congratulations, guys.
Yeah.
AAC. Yeah. Congratulations. I hope that, it's going to be a tough task to beat
true.
Bama,
I mean,
but
But this is their
would
year
that
though,
be?
because
How
Clemson had a down year. If Clemson was at where they were supposed to be, then Cincinnati would never have been a thought. But it took them to have a down year to do that.
Correct.
But speaking of Bears, congratulations to your California Golden Bears beating USC in their makeup game last week. So let's see what Lincoln Riley can bring to USC.
Does that game get the Cal Bears to a bowl game? If I'm not mistaken, I think that their 6th win.
Well, this is the bowl schedule, so technically, that's so weird that on ESPN they don't even have that game listed. It's just because it's all the bowl games or whatever. But I didn't see. I'd have to look up.
I haven't even. Is all the bowl schedule?
Not the bowl schedule. I'm sorry.
Is it?
Week 14 was all of the conference championship games. So they don't even show, even though it was a makeup game, they don't show that. So I'd have to go back to the Pac-12 standings or whatever and see. But is it still 6 games gets you in a bowl game? 6 wins. Okay, so if it's 6 wins, I see right here that Cal. Let's see, Cal overall, 5-7. Sorry, sir, that did not put them into a bowl. USC was 4-8, so they're not even in a bowl. So screw off. I get to just get to relax. I mean, but
don't worry, you got Oklahoma's finest coming your way down to South Central.
Is bowl season, if it's not the Final Four, is it even worth watching? Because some of these guys who are going to be a top 10 pick, top round pick, they're just going to skip the games. We already have, I think I saw 2 guys. There's a handful of guys who have already declared for the draft. Therefore, they're not playing in their bowl game. So some of the, ever since they allowed that, it's been.
Wait, in what game?
I forgot who, but some 5-star or 4-star defensive end.
Yeah. I thought you meant the playoff.
I don't think they do that in the playoff game. I think in any other, even if it was the Rose Bowl or the Orange Bowl, one of those those classic BCS bowls. But if it was a non-playoff game, all the way down to the Weed Eater Bowl, like all those bowls, it doesn't matter. If you're going to be a top, 60 pick, you don't have to. You're not going to get in trouble. Just declare for the draft and start getting ready for the combine, in March or whenever that is,
And I really, really enjoy this season, though, Mike. You got the Big 12, Oklahoma State, obviously, with the best record, but not winning it. Baylor actually winning it by inches, literally a game of inches. That Baylor is your Big 12 conference champion. I like to see Oklahoma didn't finish first, second, but pretty much third. And then, Clemson, 19th, right? They were not even ranked for part of the season. Obviously not even getting close to the playoffs this year. A group of 5, like I mentioned, team gets into the playoffs. It's just I really enjoy it. Michigan kind of came back with Harbaugh, finally beating Ohio State for the first time since there was 8-9 years. There was actually a website. There was a domain, how many times Ohio State beat Michigan.com or something, right? And it was a counter. It was just ridiculous how big this rivalry is, So all in all, I say it all the time. This season, you snap your fingers and this damn season is over. It starts September, it doesn't even pretty much get you through Christmas. It's so quick, it sucks because it's pretty much, my favorite damn sport, really. Football, NFL, NASCAR, kind of my top 3, EPL as well, but EPL as well. We can make it rhyme. So, but Notre Dame, your brother, I know him being an Irish fan, thought that they had a chance. They do not, but they will get to host, or not host, but they will get to face off against the Big 12 champions in Oklahoma State in their bowl game. And I'm just excited, man. I'm excited for Michigan to try to beat Georgia. I think it'd be kind of fun to have a Big Ten SEC championship. If Cincy can beat Alabama, not to count them out, that would be wild as hell. Can you imagine Michigan and Cincinnati playing for all the marbles? But it's exciting times for the next couple bowl games. The New Year Six that they call it, and obviously the championship on January 10th. What are your thoughts on this season?
It's been a weird season because when the season started, I started my new job, so it was kind of like Saturday was gone. So I had to I come home in the morning on Friday to Saturday, and then I go to sleep. wake up, I get to watch like
Right.
a noon game or a 1 o'clock game or whatever. But in the end, I'm like doing a couple chores or I'm doing whatever around the house. I kind of have it on the background, and then sure enough, if there's a good night game starting at like 4 or 5, sorry, I got to get off to work for Saturday. So I'm looking at the schedule. So hopefully, I'm not sure if these are Eastern time zone times or if it's Pacific, but I mean 11:30 looks good, 3 p.m. But then you have like Michigan State and Pittsburgh at 7 p.m. Or it's probably Eastern because I have a 10:30 p.m. East. There's no way that starts at 10:30 p.m. So Wisconsin, Arizona State, that's 7:30. So a lot of these games are, if it's Eastern time zone, kind of sucks because, there we go. Penn State and Arkansas, noon. Iowa, Kentucky, 1 o'clock. Notre Dame, Oklahoma, 1 o'clock. So, yeah, I get to watch some of these games. Unfortunately, Ohio State and Utah. Ohio State's going to just absolutely obliterate Utah at 5 o'clock.
No, don't. I mean, I wouldn't say that yet because, Ohio State could be one of those teams that you say have players going to the draft.
And that's what makes it hard to bet then. It makes it hard to gamble, right?
Defense. Utah got a good defense, though. You saw. Well, this is what makes pro elite handicappers that do this shit for a living compared to you and I that do a mini contest on the Comic Bookies podcast. That we try, we put as much as we can forward, but there's these dudes that do it professionally. They got guys that are going to games. They know people that are going to games. They get an on-time weather report. I took. We'll get into NFL later, but let's just say I took the Bills, and you'll know because we'll talk about the picks, but I took the Bills. I take the Bills on Tuesday. You think I'm looking at what the damn weather is going to be on the next Sunday when I make my picks on the Comic Bookies podcast?
The NFL, myself.
Wait. Before you get into the NFL, Mike, I want to say something real quick that the actual regular season's not over because we got one of the biggest games of the season coming up this week. Army-Navy, baby, on the 80th anniversary of Pearl Harbor, which was today. Gonna have to give a shout out to the Army-Navy game with Army being 7.5-point favorites. This game is always crazy. It is played in kind of crazy weather sometimes, so it's always fun to watch it and check it out and whatnot. But yeah, it's not over yet. Alabama is your favorite, Mike, to win this championship this year. Georgia sitting there at about 1.5 to 1. Alabama's almost even, plus 120. Michigan, if you want any odds, you probably have to be looking at Michigan at about 6 to 1. Cincinnati 16 to 1.
All right.
So
there you have it.
Yeah, Alabama, Nick Saban. It looked like their season was a little grim and bleak, but Saban's got his boys looking like the favorites again to go win to lift the trophy.
Who's your pick for Heisman?
Oh, it's going to have to be Bryce Young. I think that he proved it last week, right? He proved it. A lot of people had Georgia, that vaunted defense. He made them look silly at times. And I think that he's got that one player out. What was it? Starts with an M. I can't think of his name right now. But he got injured in the game. He's going to be – I don't know.
I forgot his name.
Huh? Yeah, but hopefully he can play because I think that's one of his go-to targets. For Cincinnati's case, hopefully he's out. If Nick Saban thinks that his Alabama Crimson Tide have the power enough to beat Cincinnati, and without him, I'm sure he'll sit him out and get him ready for either Michigan or Georgia come January 10th, 2022, where the NCAA trophy will be lifted, Michael. So let's get into
Alabama only get its 4th Heisman Trophy all time. Pretty crazy. Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, and then Devontae Smith are the only 3 Alabama players to ever win the Heisman, which is, pretty crazy. As I know,
almost
to see how many players that have gone through that program, Pretty crazy. So into the NFL, into the Super Contest. Let's get it started. Your boy, I'm not trying to brag, but come on now. How I started.
Here we
It's one of
go.
those things like how it
Here
started
we
and how
effing
it's
go.
going. I've gone 14-2 the last 4 weeks. Going 4-0 again. Now I'm in first place all by myself at technically not really 500, but it's 23-23-2. So technically I give a half a game per tie, and then Mark and Sean sit tied for second, or in this case tied for last, at 22-25-1. So week 14. Mark, your favorite Minnesota Vikings are playing Thursday Night Football at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers at a -3, which looks pretty weird to me. How good the Steelers have been playing and how crappy, up and down the Vikings have been playing. They lose to the Lions last week, giving them their first win, and then you have the Bears and Packers -12.5 on Sunday Night Football, and then the Rams and Cardinals face off on Monday Night Football with Arizona being a 2.5-point favorite. So I have Sean's picks up. I have not looked at them yet, but I'll get them up right now. I pick first, Sean picks second, and you pick third this week. So running down the list, let me see here. Let's do it, dude. Let's keep this mojo going. Hopefully everyone's out there. Send us your picks, or hope that you're at least following along with our contest. Let me see here. Why the hell is Cleveland -2.5? Someone get hurt for the Ravens? Like Lamar Jackson?
There's always someone hurt for the Ravens. I think they got like 7 starters out.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Seahawks, a good win, and now they go on the road -7.5 in Houston. Ugh. This is a not a good looking week. This is an ugly week. I know, right?
That's my type of week, baby. Every time I like the board, I get smoked.
Right?
So hopefully I don't
we
this
have
damn
Colts.
board.
We have Colts, Dolphins,
It's been so
Patriots,
hard
and
this
Eagles on a
season.
bye. So I can't get an easy win with the Patriots this week, and Sean can't pick the Dolphins. So I wonder who he picked. Oh man, this is tough. Okay, let me throw out the first pick of the week here. I'm gonna keep it going. The Washington Redskins had a really good win. Washington Redskins had a really good win on the road in Las Vegas, but I'm going to take the team that's gonna, they're gonna end up winning that division, the NFC East. I'm gonna go with, it's an ugly 4 on the road, but I'm gonna go Dallas, and it just looks like cloudy and cold. So let's go Dallas Cowboys -4 on the road in Washington.
That's who you're going with, huh?
Kind of scrolling down, I'm like, I don't know, Let's see, Sean is picking. Let's see, his first pick is going to be, and then we can kind of discuss it. I was looking at this game. I just kind of looked at it too. I mentioned it. He's going with Denver. He says -8, but I have it at 7.5, so he gets a little half-point, little nudge there. I don't know when he looked at this, but Denver -7.5 for Sean. Let's see. So is it one of those things where is Detroit going to, take it, or is Denver going to be like, Denver's obviously the better team. They're 500. They're fighting for a playoff spot, and Detroit is still just a crappy team, and they're going to lose by at least 8 points. Like what say you? It was 8. Now it's only 7.5.
I don't know. I haven't really been looking at that game.
That was his
too
first
much. One. But I do like that pick. If I could get 7.5, and obviously by the half point down to 7, I like the Broncos. Detroit, they are who they thought they were.
Right.
They are who they thought we were, or whatever the hell out of the damn. Right. I just think that they got that win. They're happy as hell. They're celebrating. They got their first win. The Broncos couldn't really generate much against, one of the better, obviously one of the best teams in the AFC. So I think that the Broncos probably get back home, kind of get things right. And I 7.5. I like it better at 7, but I wouldn't tell Sean that he's taking a bad pick there, as I'd probably be looking at that
Mark,
also. So
yep,
we're giving him the half point. So 8's a dead number in the NFL anyway. Does it really matter?
Mark, your
Probably
first pick
not.
of the week, sir.
So, and my first pick of the week is gonna actually be, as a nod to Sean because I'm pretty sure he probably has this. But I'm going to be taking his San Francisco 49ers, man. Not that I love it, because I really don't. The Cincinnati Bengals obviously got pounded. I mean, I would say they kind of got pounded. They were kind of back in it. I think they went 22 unanswered against the LA Chargers when the Chargers 24. They were up by 24, I think, to nothing, and then the Bengals started coming back. It was like 24-22. Burrow got his pinky injured, and is that why the line is so low? I haven't checked the injury report. Mike, you're a fantasy guy. Do you know anything on that?
I can look, though.
Is Burrow?
I'm not sure. Don't ask me about fantasy because I've lost like 3 straight and I'm not even in the playoffs anymore.
Don't lock it in. Don't print that ticket yet, Mike. Don't print that ticket yet, Miguel. Because if Cincy if Burrow's hurt, because
it looks like he has a finger injury, but he plans to play through the finger injury, so he probably will be playing at not 100%.
Do we know who the backup
look
is?
At the depth chart there, buddy.
I'm just thinking of the Red Rifle.
He's not there, is he?
Why can't I get?
He's not there.
I can't get Andy Dalton's face out of my head right now as the backup.
Let's see,
for Cincy,
Bengals depth chart. I think we're going to be looking at. So Bengals depth chart is looking like this, sir. Their backup quarterback is Brandon Allen.
Michael.
BA. Badass.
Okay, I'll still take San Francisco all day because I don't want nothing to do with no BA because San Francisco's healthy. Not completely healthy, but I think that are they getting Deebo Samuel back?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to 49er
Probably
news. Come on
not,
now. I don't
Sean.
listen to the game anymore.
No. Why am I picking this game now that I think about it? There's so many question marks. Wow. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what happens when I'm picking these games on a Tuesday. But I'll take the San Francisco 49ers. I don't give a damn. Let's go. That's my no real rhyme or reason to it. Don't take this, comic bookie fans. You will lose money. Just I'll take San Francisco plus 1 here.
The Raiders are a 500 team. You know, I usually don't give an explanation for this next pick, but I mean, they're a 500 team. They're not very good. They can't stop anybody. They're up and down on offense, even though the numbers would tell you otherwise. Carr's like top 5 in passing, but at the end of the day, we're gonna finish 8-9. We're gonna finish outside the playoffs. We're still gonna be in the hunt. The Chiefs have taken a stranglehold of the division, even though I think the Chargers are only like 1 game behind. I think the Chiefs are that perennial team. It just took them a little while longer to get there. The Raiders don't usually play well in Kansas City. I would know. I went to a game where they got absolutely dominated there at Arrowhead Stadium. So let's go with the Chiefs. Huh?
Won there last year. What are you talking about? They won there last year. What are you talking about?
Did they win there last year?
They did.
But then they lost at home. So either way, minus 9.5. Chiefs are going to win by double digits. I'll take it. I hope this one doesn't bite me in the ass where like the Raiders lose by 3 because it's a close division game. So the Raiders lose and I lose the bet. So let's go Kansas City minus 9.5. Sean's next pick. I think I saw. Who did I see? Sean is taking Baltimore plus 2.5. See, that was my thing. I should have taken that. I didn't see it either. So Cleveland's at home, 4-2 at home. The Ravens, like, who's injured? Someone's got to be. Cleveland minus 2.5? No. All right, fine. So Sean's taken. That might be an easy pick for him. Baltimore plus 2.5. Everyone's on the train against the Ravens, I guess, because they, couldn't tie and go to overtime. They wanted to get the win against Pittsburgh, and they failed on a 2-point conversion. They lost by 1. So now they go on the road to division rivals Cleveland as 2.5-point dogs. So, but there may be a reason why they're, I don't know who's hurt. That looks like a line that someone's hurt, like let's look up the Ravens injury report,
Like the San Francisco.
Exactly. So Sean's taking the Ravens plus 2.5. Mark your second pick and why.
But isn't Cleveland coming off a bye? Cleveland's coming off a bye, aren't
they?
They
didn't play last week.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why Sean's using my strategy. You see that? You see that asshole?
No,
He's using my
he's
damn
also using the
strategy,
strategy that
dude.
I used last week to pick the Ravens or to pick
Oh,
the
so he's
Chargers.
using both our.
I got that line was so weird. Like, why aren't the Bengals why are the Bengals like just -2.5 or -3 at home against the Chargers? I knew it. So let's see.
Okay, you knew it. Okay,
Houdini.
okay.
But no, I don't see anything big for the
Who
Baltimore
you pick?
Ravens. December 7th, 6th, going back to November 29th. Nothing jumps out at me. I mean, they lost Marlon Humphrey. I think they lost another starting corner. A season-ending torn pectoral muscle in Sunday's 20-19 loss to Steelers. They lost a corner, but that doesn't mean should be the reason why they're 2.5-point dogs to the Browns.
I kind of like Cleveland. That might be an honorable mention.
What's your next pick?
I don't know if I'll. My next pick. It's
not
going to be
Minnesota?
Cleveland, although it could be, or it could. It's not going to be Minnesota. Actually, should it be Minnesota?
I'm looking at it. It's like I'm looking at it. It's like,
you trying to take it from me?
The Steelers have been playing.
I'm taking Minnesota.
No, because I was
trying to take
it
it from me. I know you are. So I'm gonna put my cards on the table right now. Give me Minnesota -1.3.
You're taking them again.
Give me Minnesota. And you guys know, if you knew me in Minnesota, dude,
man,
I am taking Minnesota. TCB fans.
This is week.
What week 14. Is this? 12, 13? 14. I'm taking Minnesota for the 13th week in a row.
God, boy.
I'm not going to let you take them from me, Mike, because I'm picking third this week. And if I have any competition, if I need any leg up on the competition, I need to figure out where I can get a game here, because whoever would have thunken that I would be tied with Sean. Come on. Sean hasn't recorded in 3 damn weeks.
Right. He went like 3-1 2 weeks ago, and then he went 4-0 last week. So he's been on quite the roll lately as well, too. Let's go. So it's my third pick.
How much wood did he lay last week?
Like 35 points. He went 4-0. Good Lord. That's right. Holy crap. I can actually get that stats right here on the previous page. -13, so that's a total. That's 23. 23 minus plus 23 plus 9 is 32. 32 plus 5. He laid 37 points down. He went 4-0. Good Lord. God, dude.
Oh my God.
I know, right? So I'm taking I'm taking my third favorite in a row. Usually doesn't happen, but I mean, 5-0 at home. It's Tom Brady. He used to play against Buffalo. I saw some of the post-game interviews and just the feeling of the team in Buffalo. They were really, really upset that they lost that game after Mac Jones threw the ball 3 damn times and they couldn't stop the run. 222 yards on the ground against that defense. So I'm going to go Leonard Fournette to go silly against this team at home. They're going to go up from the cold, down to the humidity. Buccaneers at home -3 against the Bills.
You're laying 16.5, Michael. You're all favorite thus far.
Yes, sir. I know.
There's that deep breath.
I mean, I have another favorite here too, but I'll try to find you I'll try to find you a dog. So go ahead, dude. Sean. Sean's next pick. Sean actually has a dog. Sean can't take the Niners because Mark already did. So his next pick is going to be Carolina -2.5. So Carolina, he takes a division game. They're at home against the Atlanta Falcons, who are actually 4-2 away from Georgia. So let's go. So Panthers -2.5 for Sean. Carolina -2.5.
And you know, there's one thing about that game, Mike. Let's talk about it. I mentioned to you early. They got rid of Joe Brady, which obviously was the offensive coordinator down at LSU when Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and that historic LSU team won the national championship. Obviously, Matt Rule comes out of Baylor after having a couple good seasons there, goes and joins the Carolina Panthers They trade or whatever they do. I don't even know how they acquire Darnold, but nonetheless, they get Darnold. Uh, and this is what they're given. So you're gonna put it on Joe Brady when you get rid of when you give him when you give him Sam Darnold to work with, a Cam Newton, and your best playmaker in Christian McCaffrey is done for the rest of the season. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Do you think that, just to get off topic a little bit, off our picks, do you think Joe Brady is going to go to another NFL team, or do you think he's going to go back to college? Could he be joining a Lincoln Riley at USC as an offensive coordinator? Could he be joining a Brett Venables, which we didn't talk about, but Brett Venables has been leaving the defensive coordinator position at Clemson to join or to become the head coach at Oklahoma? Could Joe Brady be leaving to be joining one of those guys in college? He'd be doing his own thing in college? I mean, I just think that the cards he was dealt was kind of weak. You give him Sam Darnold, an older Cam Newton, a banged up Christian McCaffrey, a head coach that's like in his second year or whatever, and Matt Rule, or first year. I don't even know if I think it is first year. But it is first year. But geez, you don't give the guy much to work with.
I don't know. I mean, do you take a demotion? Man? Do you go try to go somewhere else? Because if you just leave, then you might be SOL on openings in the NFL. So maybe you go back and go to a better situation. I mean, it is Tom's getting up there in age, so I would think that even if they could come into a good quarterback and stay good for a long, long time, but that division is up for grabs right now. The Falcons are in limbo. The Saints are in limbo with their quarterback issues. You know what I'm saying? So if they can get some stability there in Carolina, they can be one of the top two teams in that division for years to come. I don't know. You have to factor in everything. Your contract with money and stuff. You'd be going in and just being another assistant, and now in college, how much So who knows? I mean, you're in Carolina, so if you go to USC, you're on the West Coast now. You got to pack up, move your family over there. I don't know. So we'll see. I would stay in the NFL, because sooner or later, if you show that you can actually score points with a certain offense or whatever, then you're going to get paid either as a coordinator somewhere else, or you're going to make the moves and end up being a head coach.
A Cliff
sooner
Kingsbury
or later.
Power move.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of these head coaches out there. I don't see them making it. Obviously, the Raiders are going to need a new head coach. I think Pete Carroll might be going on the way out. There's just so many people that didn't. The Clapper and Jason Garrett, Clapper we call him. He just lost his job. They're going to be looking for someone, or actually, he wasn't a head coach. Sorry, what right? Or was he a head? Was he the Giants
Jason
head
Garrett?
coach? The Clapper.
No. He went. You mean
Jason
after
Garrett.
Dallas? No, he went like offensive coordinator somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, offensive coordinator. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. He just got fired from that too, I think. So yeah. Anyway, my next pick. Let's get back to it real quick. Joe Brady. We'll see where he ends up landing. Maybe he can come to the Raiders. Right. I wouldn't mind him. But we got Greg Olson. I don't think we're in the looks for an offensive coordinator, so that probably won't happen. But that's who I'm going to be taking, Mike. They lost 17-15 against the Washington football team. They had so many chances to win that game. Their playmaker and Waller did not play. I think we might be getting him back this week, although that line might be subjective to telling me that he might not be coming back in Darren Waller. Maybe it'd be closer to a 8.5 point spread. I think he's worth about a point to the spread with being kind of Derek Carr's security blanket there. Obviously, we know the situation and the story, what happened with Ruggs. And I just think that if Waller can come back, if he can play, if he can kind of do what he does, I think the Raiders have a pretty good chance of covering this spread. If he's not back, I still think that they got a pretty decent chance of doing it, although I'm not as excited about it. I just think that they're going to have to step up their game. I think that after losing last week in a game that I think that they could have won, obviously being at home against the Washington football team, that's not great, although they have surprised this season. I think that they're head is going to be a little bit more focused. Once again, I have not checked the weather. I know the weather in Kansas City can be a little bit crazy at times. So I'm just going off what I'm seeing here on Tuesday night as we record on the 7th of December 2021. I'm going to be taking the Las Vegas Raiders, Mike, against the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead, plus 9.5, fading
All right,
you.
so that's now
Michael.
leaves us with our last pick. Let's see. Man, this is I feel like just mentally it's slim pickings now. And then like the one or two games that I did like, it's like I don't know if I like it anymore. Kind of like Tennessee at home, even though the Jaguars are 0-5 away from home. I mean, they've still been able to put wins together even without Derrick Henry. Shoot, yeah, the Jets suck. The Texans suck. Let's see. Let me see. Shoot.
He doesn't want to lose a game, guys. He's thinking he
know.
wants another 4-0
right.
week. He wants to.
Okay, so that
He
win
wants to propel this thing.
That win right there last week at home against the 49ers is either going to be like it's going to be that one where it was like who like you know what I'm looking ahead. Sorry. Who do the Seahawks play next week? Is this going to be a look-ahead game for them on the road in Houston when they have to go to L.A. next week? Dude, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry.
Oh, jeez.
I'm doing
your horses, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
taking the Texans plus 7.5. At home against Seattle. I could have, my analysis could have gone either way, but that was a really good win. A couple mistakes by the 49ers towards the end of the game. Well, actually, people would say that was a non-call, on the pass interference. And now they're going on the road to Houston, who just absolutely is awful. 2-10, 1-5, but 7.5 makes me, a little more confident in the pick. And the Seahawks play against the Rams, a division. I don't know, but they're 4-8. It's not like this game would make a difference. And then they go to the Rams. They're coming back for a division title now. They're not really in the hunt for a playoff spot, man. I'm talking myself in and out of these picks, man.
That's smart, though. You're realizing this is what handicapping's about.
Oh my gosh.
Do we lock it in?
Oh my God. No, the Texans are going to be my honorable mention pick. My actual pick is going to be man, Tennessee or Arizona. It's gonna be four favorites this week: Tennessee or Arizona.
You're taking the
right?
Sean route.
He went 4-0 last week. Let's see if I go 4-0 again this week. Let's do. If Kyler did this at not 100%, I was an idiot and started Carr, instead of Kyler Murray. I thought, with weather and everything. So let's do, let's do that. The Rams had a huge win against Jacksonville. They're going to come on the road. I'm going to take the Cardinals on Monday night. I'm going to take hopefully a 3-0 record into Monday night, and let's go Arizona minus 2.5. And because Sean sent us only 6 or 7 picks, we took the rest of his. He wanted Dallas and somebody else, so he actually took the big one this week. Sunday Night Football, Sean's taken the Green Bay Packers minus 12.5 on Sunday Night Football at home against the Bears. So Green Bay for Sean minus 12.5.
How many points is he laying,
Baltimore
dude?
and Carolina cancel out because they're both 2.5s. So 7.5 and 12.5.
Oh yeah.
So 20. So minus 20.
Jeez.
And I'm putting down 9.5, 9.5, 13.5, 17.5, 20 as well. Me and Sean are both laying 20 this week. All right, Mark, your last pick, and that's it for sports. Let's go.
Do I steal your pick and take the Texans?
No, take the Titans against the Jaguars, and then we'll see who I should have picked.
Do I take the Jets? I like the way the Jets have been playing. I like the way the Jets have been playing, but I can't trust
Did
them.
the Saints win
Do
last
I
week?
trust
They lost. They've lost like 5 or
who's
6 in a
playing
row.
who's playing who do they got? Simeon? Oh God. Give me the Washington football
What's
team,
that?
Mike, +4. The Washington football team
Oh,
+4.
you're going against me. Okay. Okay, Washington
I'm
+4.
going against
All
you. I don't want
right.
to
Well, there
do
you
it.
have it, folks. There's the picks for this week's Comic Bookie Super Contest. Super, super close. Myself, I'm only like, it looks like maybe 2 games above these guys. I have 2 less losses. Yeah, it looks like a game and a half above these guys. So we'll see how this plays out. But that's it for sports. Coming up is comic books and entertainment news. So stick around. We will be right back after not really any messages, just an interlude song, but we'll be right back. And thank you so much again for watching and listening. This has been the Comic Bookies Podcast, episode 135. We'll be right back in about 5 minutes if you're watching. What's up, everybody who's watching right now? Just wait for Mark to get back. Going a little long tonight. Even though we only had 3 sports, it went kind of long. So we'll try to get in and out of here with comics and with entertainment news as soon as we can. It'll be a little shorter this week. Why did it cut off? We've been recording on Skype for an hour and 20 minutes, but right now it's only at 32 minutes for Streamlabs. I wonder if it got cut off and it started a new thing. Dang it. 32 minutes ago, Stream has disconnected, attempting to reconnect. Yeah. What the heck? Well, it's weird because I'm plugged into my Ethernet, you know. Anybody have any suggestions on like what to do as far as, you know, when you get errors like that, you know? Like I don't have really anything open besides Skype and Streamlabs. It's weird. It sucks. But we're back live and I didn't know it, so hope everyone's having a wonderful December so far. If you're watching live, it's the last hour of December 7th. Let's wait for Mark. Now we'll run through these pretty quick. Because your boy's got to get to bed. So we're back live, Mark. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was just saying right now, we've been recording for almost an hour and 25 minutes on Skype, but if I look at my Streamlabs right now, it says it's only at 35 minutes. And sure enough, I go to the performance thing, and at a certain point, over half an hour ago, it had disconnected. Yeah, it had disconnected, and then
Really?
and then it reconnected, like however long after that. So we have like two different recordings. It's like, what the heck? I mean, Skype's fine. Skype's been catching everything an hour and 25 minutes, so we're good there. But that's so crazy how we went. It's only two of us, and we only.
Yeah, your internet's been...
even with the Ethernet, it's been like boo-boo. Like, you know, like you call your internet provider and they give you like some good deal, like, oh, we're going to give you like whatever for, you know, less money or something. And then
Do you ever restart all that shit? Sometimes it's good to just like unplug it for like 10 minutes. The router, the
I'll probably
modem,
do that
all
tomorrow
that bullshit.
then, and then just we'll see how we
and
are
just
in
let
2
it
weeks.
restart
Yeah, okay.
itself.
But yeah, we went kind of long on sports, even though it's only two of us, and even though we only had 3 sports, it's kind of weird. So let's
It's so weird. I don't understand. It's like the more and more I try to like shorten it up, I feel it's like the more and more it gets longer and longer.
we treat the podcast like we're together.
Football.
You know,
it's football.
We're just like BSing and stuff, and then you know, before you know it, an hour and a half, 2 hours go by, and you don't even notice it. You know, so
I mean, if you think about it, Mike, this is the 3rd season we've been doing this podcast with football. 2019, 20, and 2021. So, I mean, basically, I know that when it comes to football season, it's always going to be like the longest sports talk with all the extra other crap we got to throw into it. But, I mean, we don't even talk UFC. I know you don't watch it much. I've been into it a lot. And you got, what is it, Poirier coming up?
I saw that.
With, I forgot who. Yeah, it's a pretty big fight.
A pretty big ladies fight, too. It's like Nunez or someone fighting, too.
I haven't checked the whole card, but you might be right.
Ladies fight too. So.
Yeah, I mean, UFC's been pretty good.
All right, cool. So let's
we'll see.
Let's get back into it. We're going back live, folks, in 3, 2, and 1. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Comic Bookies podcast. Thank you so much again for watching and listening wherever you are in the United States and throughout the world. We appreciate all the downloads. We are almost to 40 different countries who are downloading the podcast. So thank you so much for all of your support in downloading, listening, and watching. Just like every week, we are brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Tomorrow, New Comic Book Day. Go out there and get your books wherever you go. But if you're in the greater Bay Area, head on down to Fremont Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays and go see Alex at TI Comics. And go ahead and follow them on Instagram and Twitter at TI Comics. All right, dude, let's get into comic books this week. So tomorrow, New Comic Book Day. Let's go. Let me get my list. Finally got my previews like we were talking about last week. So I got some, things to flip through over the next couple of days. So DC, we have the new Batman era under Josh Williamson starting tomorrow. Batman 118, Dark Knights of Steel 2, Batman 89 number 4, The Swamp Thing number 10, and Superman Son of Kal-El annual. Even though it's only 5 issues in, apparently DC wants more of my money and they want an annual. So, Marvel, Inferno number 3, Devil's Reign. I think it's another one of these, big stories. Number 1 comes out tomorrow. Star Wars 19, Hellions 18, Amazing Fantasy 5, and one of my favorite, probably my only, quality Marvel book, Fantastic Four Life Story number 5. Image gives us crossover number 10, Silver Coin 7, The Good Asian 7, and Made in Korea number 6. Boom Studios, Basilisk number 5, and Mighty Morphin number 14. AWA gives us Knighted number 2, and Dynamite James Bond Himeros number 3. All right, dude. So anything you're excited for about that stack, or get into your stack from a couple weeks ago? I mentioned to you before we started recording, what I read last night and into today. What did you enjoy, or what are you looking forward to for this week?
Bond's always fun. I'm always excited to see that Bond story with Himeros. Man, last week got a couple good books. Mike, I thought you duped me, man. I thought you were going to be reading what I read or some of it. That's why I was all excited telling you, but we can't get you on track since you moved. We just can't seem to make it happen with books getting delayed and with us. I think what really does it for us is that we're just reading so many damn books, man. I got 12 books last week. 12.
I had to read 11. I read 9 last night and 2 today. How I did that, I have no idea. I started at like 10 o'clock, had a cup of coffee, and before you know it, I read like the 8th or 9th book, and it was like 1 a.m. I'm like, oh, dude, I got to find time tomorrow. I got to go to bed. It was crazy.
You said you read 9, right?
Night.
I don't even understand how you can do 9. 5 is kind of pushing it for me. 4 to 5 in a sitting. It just depends. Some of them have been real good.
I'd say 3 of them were like easy reads, not like a Thor, but like 6-7 minutes. Only a handful of them were like a full 15-minute read, So it wasn't too bad. I was probably averaging 4 books an hour. So like between 10:30 and so like starting at 10:30 till 1, it's about 9 books. Take a break to go to the bathroom or watch something on the TV,
This is actually good discussion. We're gonna get into these books into a second, real quick. We went kind of long on the sports, but I kind of like the discussion now because you got me thinking. So every time you pick, and let us know, fans in the chat, if you're listening, anybody, let us know in the comments on our social media, at the Comic Bookies on Instagram, at the Comic Bookies on Twitter. You guys can always email us if you guys didn't know, but our email address is thecomicbookies@gmail.com. So drop us a line, let us know. When you guys read, are you guys just fully dedicated to the book? Like you completely immerse yourself in the book? There's no other distractions. The kids are sleeping. There's no sports going on in the background. This is the Comic Bookies podcast. We do like to wager and maybe read a little bit at the same damn time. You never know. But Mike, I posed to you this question before we get back into these books. Sorry to go off topic, but man, when you read, are you like completely submerged in these books and these stories? Do you want no distractions? Though you don't want the wife just all up in your ear. You don't want to have to take out the trash. Let me know how you do it, brother. Because with me, it's a combination. I do a hybrid type, right? There's certain books that I'll read. I'll have to take breaks. There's certain books where my kid's interrupting me. There's certain books where there might be a game in the background that I'm not really wagering on, but I'm still kind of trying to pay attention to because it might be a hometown team. You know what I mean? But Mike, how do you do it, man?
I usually
Fans, let us
wait.
know
I usually
also.
wait until the kids are in bed, unless I'm coming up to a crunch time.
But then I'm too tired. But then there's no way. If I wait till my kid goes to sleep, 9:15, 8:45, there's no way I can
Yeah.
read 9 books.
Like by the,
I mean, that late?
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, maybe your schedule's a little bit different now.
I can
think
function
that's maybe
more during the middle of the
you
night.
you're, yeah, you're functioning a little bit better. You're kind of vampire right now. I mean, your favorite character, your favorite superhero is Batman.
That's true.
So, you are made to be nocturnal, right, Michael?
Right. So the most that I'll probably put up with, not really put up with, but like the most I can have it as a distraction or in the background and still be able to immerse myself into a book is like my wife watching a show in the background. Like if we're next to each other in the bed or on the couch, she can watch like a housewife show or something on Netflix that she's watching, and I can still, read the book every few pages. Like if I hear something like, oh hell no, like if a fight's about to break out or something, then I'll kind of put the book down and like watch for a few minutes. But other than that, if the kids are up and if they're awake and playing and stuff, really can't really ever find the time to not only get away from spending time with them, but like if I am, then if they're screaming, like no, I can't. I have to wait until they're asleep. I'm not really at a job anymore that I have that liberty, or the freedom to do that. Like I'm kind of balls to the wall, like go the whole 12 hours that I'm on shift. So I haven't been able really to do any kind of reading at all at the new job. But yeah, I think I got in the mail like another 10 or 11 books, so I'll be able to finish, most of those in 2 days. And then I think this week I'm only getting like 7, so I'll be able to finish those easy. Like 3-4 books a night on Sunday and Monday, easy. It was a lot easier to do this when we were doing every other week on Wednesday, but now that we've switched to like every Tuesday now, because it makes it easier for myself at least once every other week on Wednesdays because I wouldn't have work. But yeah, it's just, I know I have to cram it in. So I just like mentally prepare myself like, hey, like I'm going to go watch like Hawkeye with my wife or watch a movie or do what we do. But then once like she's about to go to bed, then I'll pour myself a cup of coffee at like 11 p.m. and just sit there for another 2-3 hours and get my books in. Yeah. It's very, very, very unconventional, but I get 11 books read in a 24-hour period,
There it is. And he does it all for this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a round of applause right now, ladies and gentlemen. He does it all for you guys. No, but nonetheless, man, I love how our portfolios are somewhat aligned with each other, as you guys can tell, because I love how you said, Michael, that you got 7 books this week. I think I checked our databases earlier, and I think I'm getting 5 or 6 as well myself. So with you having a heavy week last week and myself as well with 12 and that 100-page giant with that Danny DeVito led Villains of Gotham City, which is going to be great. I kind of want to put that one to the side on purpose because I don't want to have to blast through it, not really enjoy it. I got all these damn annuals last week. You did too. I've already gotten into one being the Tinian's Joker, which is pretty good. You're going to like it. Another like kind of like a nostalgic type of art to it, like that one. Remember that one book that had that art?
Batman,
and you were like, oh yeah, or that one. Or no, it was Joker. Joker had that one book that had the art that was really like retro style. That was probably it was issue 2 or 3 of the Joker of Tinian's run right
80s,
now.
90s artwork. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. So you're going to get that again in the Joker annual, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. But that one was really good by Tinian. Man, we got Batman 118 that you mentioned coming out. It's going to be Williamson's. So, I'm going to and say going forward on Batman's run, I hope that the fans do too. How much do you guys like Williamson? Let us know. Tell us in the comments. Let Mike and myself and Sean know, because I'm sitting here looking at book. It's going to be the biggest book that I'm going to be picking up this week on my shorter stack. But I mean, it's a big book for me. I've always had my opinions with Williamson, obviously getting introduced to him on his Flash run, and obviously picking up his Batman Superman run, which I dropped. Obviously Flash got picked up by a couple other writers, and here we are. He's going to be on the biggest book that DC prints, right? Batman, there's no bigger, there's no better. So Williamson, you better bring, because DC is counting on you. The comic bookie fans are counting on you, because Tynion, you got big shoes to fill there, brother. What are your thoughts on this book
it's
coming
classic,
out this week, man?
It's classic, just new writer. It's not just Williamson, but Tynion's done it. Tom King's done it. His first issue and already a new character. Here comes the Abyss. So that's what we talked about last week. Is I'm just concerned about where Harley's going to go. Like, how are they going to how are they going to kind of mesh the Tynion run with the Williamson run? Are they going to continue with the Magistrate? Peacekeeper 1. Are they going to reintroduce Bao and Clown Hunter and Ghostmaker? How are they going to do that? Or is it just going to be start from scratch and just be pretty much like Tynion kind of brought. He mentioned the Bane, the Bane, the City of Bane, and what Tom King did at the end of his run. They kind of mentioned it, right? And so I hope that Williamson kind of, the Joker War and everything that happened, and the Magistrate that kind of is happening throughout Tynion's run. Hopefully, Miracle Molly makes appearances here and there in his run as well. So I'm optimistic about it because it's Batman. It's obviously, if you look on some of these websites, it's the highest pulled book, even though it's a new writer. So it'll probably be pretty good. I'm excited.
Okay, so we're betting man here, right? You like to gamble a little bit. You like to make
14-2
some
over
odds
16 games. Yeah.
Create. Okay. 14-2 over 16. So let me tell you something here, Mike. We're getting Williamson starting his run at 118 on Batman. Let me give you, if I told you over under Williamson is going to write for 33 and a half books of Batman, are you taking the over or the under? So let me give you this, 33 and a half. He's starting at 118. That gives you about 25 and a half books that's kind of low now that I'm thinking about it. That's kind of low.
You figure if it's
25 and a half, 25, is DC going to give him longer than a quarter 100 books to write for Batman?
You figure if it's like six issue arcs on average, that gives him, that's around 4 to 5 arcs, That's be between 24 and 30 issues. Is he going to go that long? Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the inside scoop. I don't know Jim Lee. I don't know, the uppers at DC Comics and what they have as far as a contract is concerned, because they could have him contracted for at least 50 issues. I'm not too sure. There might be articles out there. So
that's
so
true.
Not sure.
That is true. We could be
I know, but I'm excited for that one. I'm excited for Batman 89 because that's a cool story. It's like an off story, but you're immersed in like the Batman 89 universe. It's like you're like, hey, I see certain things that I saw in the movie, but like the story is completely different. So I think it's pretty cool. Also, of course, like I said, the Fantastic Four life story number 5. So that kind of rounds out my like top 3 for the week. Like I'm excited for, So, but I do have 3 number 1s from 2 weeks ago that I read that unfortunately I teased in the beginning. How many of them are we pulling? I know you read at least 1 number 1, but I have here from Marvel, Black Panther number 1, from Dark Horse Comics, Joy Operations number 1, that's Brian Michael Bendis, and from Source Point Press, Wild Bullets number 1. Unfortunately, Mark, I'm sorry to say I didn't do this just to like keep my stack down, but unfortunately none of them were good enough to pull. I think I pulled Wild Bullets and Joy Operations up front because they were like, 4, 5, or 6 issue miniseries. But after reading the issues, not a big fan. Black Panther was very, very bland. Joy Operations was like it was kind of cool. It was set in the future. There's Joy. She's the main character. She's a protagonist. She's kind of like a like an enhanced kind of AI, but like human at the same time. So she starts hearing a voice in her head, and it's a member of a different like kind of like police group, and he's telling her that she has to kill the woman. She's like, basically president, or she's very, very high up in this world. Her sole purpose is to protect her, but he's in her head telling her that she has to kill her because what she's getting into and what she's going to do to this world, she's going to end it. She's going to kill everyone. Like, what she's doing is not good. And it's a good premise to a story, but not good enough for me to pull. And Wild Bullets was pretty cool. It was like the Bullet family, and they're all getting together for Thanksgiving, and they kind of give a backstory of each and every member of the family. And one of them has like an idol at the home, like very, very valuable. And they have reasons, and there's a murder inside the house. A maid is killed, and they have, reasons to believe, like, who killed them, and then a group of people, whether they're ninjas or like just mobster gangster guys or, treasure hunters. There's a group who's specifically chasing after each one of them, and they have to like fight them off. So some of these stories you would think, oh, it's a pretty good premise, but I don't know, just didn't do it for me, so I dropped the 2 miniseries, and I told Alex that I will not be pulling Black Panther. I have a furnace in my garage, so the heater's on, so the furnace is that loud. I know.
Oh my God! You've never had the furnace on your whole time?
This is a new furnace.
You never recorded?
Yeah. So it's a new furnace over the last like couple months, and this is one of the first times during the cold season that we've run it. So let's see. I'm gonna go to my Skype video. So 1 hour and 43 minutes. So I'm going to go into that area and grab that, when we do the noise cancellation. I'm actually going to make a note of it, and so that way it cancels it throughout the whole episode. So noise reduction, let's see.
Can you cancel that number 5 for the next couple episodes? Are you just gonna wear that all winter, dude? Is that just
I got my Raider one. I'll have my UFC one. I got ugly sweaters I'm gonna wear during the holidays.
No, so you're gonna wear that number 5. You're just gonna shove it in my face the whole damn. I can't believe you're not going to do the next gen with me in Daytona, dude. Speaking of Daytona, I actually have a buddy that went down to Florida, and he's doing the whole Orlando Daytona thing. He's going to Epcot. Oh, cool. He's doing Disney World. He's doing Daytona, and he was actually at the Daytona Speedway, and I sent him on Snapchat. I'm like, dude, you have to go there for the 500, so man. You just
right before you get to your reaction to what I just said about the 3 number 1s. Give me like 10-15 seconds of just nothing, so that way I can catch this sound and I can really, really cancel it. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, what?
Go ahead. Well, because I think I ended the conversation of just like, I'm not pulling any of those books or whatever, and you were like reacting to the furnace. So go ahead and have your reaction to me saying that I'm not pulling any of those books. The Black Panther, the Joy Operations, and the Wild Bullets. Because remember you had it. Because remember you had a number 1 that you were going to review, kind of, and say if you were going to pull it or not.
Yeah, man. Black Panther, definitely Marvel. I think that you're going to be picking up another Marvel book that you might be talking about in a little bit. If you want to share that one.
It's like a Gwen. I don't have the pre.
Yeah, you told me in pre-production. I thought it was kind of cool.
It's a 5-issue miniseries. it's like Gwen Stacy, Ghost Spider, Spider Woman, whoever you want to call her. She is like, she goes to different parts of the multiverse, and she kind of finds herself, in one world she's like Thor. She has like Mjolnir, she has the hammer. In another one, she's Captain America, and then she's Captain Marvel, and then she's Wolverine. Like there's one where it's like Gwen Stacy legit with like the spikes, the adamantium. So pretty cool. It looks cool. I'm trying to find myself more Marvel books to get. It's a 5-issue miniseries. I unfortunately don't grab a lot of like female-centric stories, so I'm pretty excited about that one. I think I'm going to grab it and send to Alex that I'm going to get it.
Yeah, you're a... Man, I've been on the Black Cat. I've been on Harleen. Man, you just don't... You don't do it, man. I be on the women-centric stories.
I did Harleen too.
I applaud myself.
But you did like the Joker, Harley, and then we both did Harleen, right? So.
Yeah. But I mean,
Noctera.
I enjoy it.
Noctera, the current one from Scott Snyder, that's female-centric as well. So it's not just the normal like Catwoman and Harley Quinn and Spider Gwen or whatever centric, but like other books that we read are female as well. I just don't think I grab enough because some of them I know are pretty good.
Has Ivy ever had her own story?
I'm not sure.
Ivy,
maybe like a mini series or something like that, but yeah,
I'm gonna have to ask Alex about that one because I've been kind of more intrigued about her character because I'm not obviously I haven't read too much about her, but her popping up in all these Batmans and detective latelys and the Harley Quinn books that I've been actually reading, it'd be kind of cool to know if she's actually had a series or what's going on with her because she's a pretty interesting character, especially knowing what I know now about with the Harleen stuff that she's got going on with her and all the pretty cool. But a book that I read, Mike, I'll save the number one for later. I did pick up Almost American.
I did get it from last week, so I'll be reading it this weekend. Yeah.
I'm not really going to spoil it, but man, you are really going to enjoy it. I think that it's plot twisting. This is number... Which one was this that we just got?
I think so,
I think it is 3. Yeah, number 3.
This is the one.
Almost American.
This is the one that League of Comic Geeks had. Like it was supposed to come out like 3 weeks ago, and then Alex was like, "Oh, I didn't get it. So we finally got it."
Oh, that's why I had like a. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I had 12. Reading because some of these books that I'm reading right now kind of aren't doing it for me. Batman Detective actually is one that ended this week that I have already read. Mike and Sean have not, so I don't want to spoil it, but it's pretty good. It's yes, Tom Taylor, and you're gonna enjoy it. That's what I'm gonna say because one of the guys, it's a couple aliases in there, helps him out. Big story. You know how the story's going. Obviously, people are mad at what he did, and kind of they want to get like people. It's kind of like people that he helped out. It's a story about people that Batman helped save. Well, those people end up going to cause harm and like kill other people, and then there's people that hold a vengeance for Batman for keeping people alive that go and like kill other people, right? That's pretty much what it is. So this kind of comes to the end of what the whole story is about, and I'm not going to spoil it. We can obviously talk about it next week if you want to, Mike. But the Human Target, the one I was going to talk about with Tom King, it's really good. Obviously in the first issue he was taking basically almost getting assassinated to cover up for Lex Luthor. So now he's got some poison and he drank some stuff that's basically killing him now. I think he's got like 12 days to live, or 11 actually, if you read the book. But yeah, he's it's a pretty cool story. He's introduced to this woman here that she's got a pretty crazy background. She murdered her father. She murdered her grandfather. Her name is Ice. She kind of reminds me of like a Frozen story, literally, with Disney's Frozen. She can kind of like make ice come to life and
like Killer
whatnot.
Frost.
And this guy, he was gonna, yeah, they were like out in the ocean. She could basically like make like icebergs for him and whatnot. But dude, I mean, it's a pretty crazy story because he comes to find out that at the very end, I'm not too sure, but I think that she's the one that's kind of up with her old boss and his old boss. I think that she might have been there trying to poison him and kill him. So the story has a very big plot twist coming pretty soon. Once again, you said it, Mike. It's another Tom King year and a half special. Hopefully we get it every month. But it's a good book.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy it. I did pull it, and Tom King, I mean, he's becoming one of my favorite writers slowly and surely.
I'm looking forward to grabbing, what's his name? Mr. Miracle. I'm going to grab that trade paperback, I'm going to grab that one.
That's what I was going to say.
Strange Adventures was good. Batman Catwoman is amazing. So, yeah.
It's true. And some of these books, guys, if you guys miss out on them, listen to me. They are probably even better to read as a trade paperback. I'm not going to lie. You know what I mean? Because the story stays stuck in your head. You continue going. It's actually something that you could actually get read in a night or even 2 nights, if you really stick to it. But don't shy away from getting some of these books that we review. If you guys can't pick them up in, comic book form, we don't expect you guys to. But Human Target, this is one that I would expect you guys to, because it's one of DC's best. It's one of the industry's best, and it's Tom King's another classic by him. And he's been delivering it to us the last couple years, and
nice.
I highly recommend it, Mike.
Cool.
So
before we get to the last two of the night, AWA Moths 6 of 6, kind of in the side story in the, Resistance universe. That was a pretty decent ending to that story. The second to last issue of Marjorie Finnegan, Temporal Criminal, actually the longest story that AWA has given us. Number 7 of 8 was pretty good, and the 6th and final issue of the Black Label Batman Reptilium from Garth Ennis, that was just a wacky, like halfway through turned into a crazy story that ended up pretty good. I'm glad that I ended up picking it up, but at the end of the day, it was one of those ones where if I knew what I was reading, I might have grabbed it as a trade at a later date. But anyways, dude, one of my favorite issues from 2 weeks ago, The Flash. How like the Flash and Dr. Fate are talking to us as readers, and how we have to turn it clockwise 90 degrees or turn it all the way upside down and stuff, and they're in like the Tower of Fate and trying to get away from the monsters and stuff. That was probably one of my favorite issues, because Detective was good, but kind of just finally ending that story with Vile and Nakano and who knows how.
So you like Batman more?
I did like the finale of Batman more than I did of this one. But The Flash was probably my favorite book of the week. Okay. Just because it was so immersive, and I don't think I've ever read a book like that they're talking to me or you or the reader, and it was like, hurry up, like they're in the water about to get sucked in by this huge monster, and it's like, turn the page all the way upside down, and then you flip the page and it's like they're actually upside down and then falling into that doorway. So it was a pretty good issue, and I think it's part 1 or part 2 of this current arc by Jeremy Adams. It's going pretty good so far. I mean, and then Detective was pretty good towards the end of this Fear State, because I think, there's actually another Fear State issue that I got, like Omega or whatever, but, not bad. And then, he got electrocuted to get the vermin, the Vile, the, parasites off of him, so that was successful, and, Nightwing and all the other Bat family, they come in to save the day and help Batman, take care of them. And so now we're just going to see kind of like where the story goes, Nakano makes a mention of he's going to like take care of other monsters, and even that side story was pretty good, how that, the guy's trying to take down the new Arkham Tower, and then Harley Quinn kind of gets involved. So we'll see what happens with that side story. But, Batman was pretty good. Detective, I'm sorry, but I thought Flash was a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Flash was all right. Um, Kind of gonna get into a little bit different story with
Well, yeah, it
Flash,
looks like it
right?
because the
With
Justice League Dark is in town, and I always enjoy like magic and dark things like that with Justice League Dark. You know, John Constantine, Swamp Thing, Zatanna, you know, Detective Chimp, all those people. Man, I like that team. Good stories.
let me ask you actually something about the Justice League. What about in this Human Target book that I just mentioned earlier? They have this ice chick. She's part of the Justice League International, the JLI. Are you
You
familiar
know,
with
because there's
anything
like
with that?
JLA,
Because
like
I'm
Justice
not.
League of America, and then there's the JSA, the Justice Society of America. So maybe is international, maybe like just there it's like a Justice League, but on like across the pond, maybe. Not really sure.
Yeah, it is because I think she's like from Serbia. That's why the whole ice thing or whatnot. Because I mean, you might be onto something right there, but uh, I have to look more into that. Kind of, like I said, it's a pretty good story. Another very good story that I read. I wish you would have picked it up, Mike. I know you saw it in previews. You're a jackass for not getting it. Image,
Yeah.
King of Spies, Mark Millar, Matteo Cilara. Very, very, very good first issue. Pretty much kind of like a Bond feel type to it, kind of MI16 ish with like spy and no, basically the dude. He's out there in where is it? It's like the very first page is in Panama City, January 1990, doing some work. He's a spy out there, basically gets some chick pregnant, has a kid. I just reveal so damn much right there in like those first couple sentences, but that's not even really what it's about. He goes on to like live his life. The story is taking place as he's like older, I believe, like in his 60s, close to 70s. Comes up with kind of like a what do you call it? What do you call it when you have like a
Terminal.
illness, but it's like fatal? It's terminal, exactly. Kind of comes up with like a terminal illness, cancerous type of illness, and now he's just out to get like everybody that is, he's kind of out for vengeance, right? He's kind of out for blood, people that have done people wrong, people that are bullies, people that are this, you know. I don't want to spoil it too much for maybe some of our fans that are going to go out there and read it, but I really do. Uh, I really do recommend it. I actually have one of my buddies tell me that he read it, Ben, and he really enjoyed it as well. It's going to build up to a lot. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask Alex if it's going to be ongoing. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be a mini series or a maxi series, but from the looks of it, I wouldn't mind if it was like 7 or 8 issues because it's pretty good, man. Some chick. There's kind of like some intercontinental stuff going on with a U.S. spy uh, and a Russian. Or is it Russian? No, 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 no. It's not Russian. It's actually Fidel
What the
Castro
heck?
entourage. Sorry, I got the. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, dude. It's a pretty funny. It's not funny. It's a pretty serious story. Can be kind of funny at times. There's a couple lighthearted parts in there. But the dude, he's just coming for blood. King of Spies. I recommend that you guys go get it, Mike. Even if you can even try to get it, maybe try to pull the first one if he still has it. It's pretty cool, man. I actually is one of the books that I'm actually looking forward to put on my pull list and actually take the Scumbag off. Scumbag's just not doing
Well,
it for me,
I think
man.
I'll make that decision once I read it, later this week. But yeah, I mean, I'm done with books. If we're done with books, I mean, we can move on to the entertainment news. We have a lot to get into, a few quick hitters and then like a few reviews. And I know, Mark, you have some unfortunate news to report as well. But some of the quick hitters, Colin Farrell will be starring as the Penguin. Also, not only in the Batman movie, but in the spin-off about the GCPD on HBO Max. Great news. Even better news if you're fans of Charlie Cox and the Netflix show Daredevil. He will be returning as Daredevil in the MCU. Don't know at what kind of capacity. Maybe it has something to do with Spider-Man or, wherever, in the MCU, but somewhere he will get unveiled there. And The Boys, if you're fans of The Boys, they have an animated series called Diabolical, announced for 2022. So if you're fans of the actual real-life show, then you'll probably like the animated series, which has been announced. I'm guessing it's also going to be an Amazon Prime show, because that's an Amazon Prime TV show, so I'm guessing it's on there. Before we get into the couple reviews I have, Mark, you had some unfortunate news about a historic classic artist in the world of comic books.
Oh, you're gonna make us get into that first.
You know what?
Get
Fine.
into that
okay,
last,
so Hawkeye,
we can get into
the Disney Plus TV show. Me and my wife, we watched episode 3 yesterday. It's a pretty good show. Did not know this, but I guess Hawkeye in the classic comic books is a deaf character. Had no idea. All these last, 10, 15 years of watching the MCU movies, I had no idea. Reading comic books since 2016, had no idea. But the first 3 episodes is pretty cool. Has some action, has some mystery. Unfortunately, I'm not going to give too many things away, but if I were to rank it with the other 3 MCU shows so far, that'd be Loki, WandaVision, and Falcon Winter Soldier. I'd unfortunately put it last. Unfortunately. So, I mean, not
unfortunately,
saying,
don't say unfortunately. I gave you the news. Was it last week or the week before when I said that those reports were coming out that it was like one of the weakest ones, and you were like, "Well, it's just."
Well, yeah. I mean, let people actually watch it. It was also got it also was released on the day before a holiday. So as far as viewership, that's one of the reasons probably why.
Someone just
I know, right? But no, it's still pretty good. The humor with one of the groups of villains, like the Pantsuit Mafia or the Pantsuit guys, they're like a bunch of Russian guys who like dressed up in like red pantsuits. That the humor with them, the banter going back and forth, is so cheesy, it's so dumb. So not a fan of that. But I do like the main villain that's kind of coming up, the Swordsman. That's gonna be pretty cool. But all in all, overall, it's halfway through the season. There's 6 episodes, so 3 left. Hopefully it gives me something that like propels it over a Loki or a Falcon Winter Soldier. Nothing right now is going to trump WandaVision. Overall as a show, loved it. And finally, Encanto. I went, and me and my wife took my daughter on Sunday last week, or a couple of days ago, and saw Encanto. It was her first ever movie experience. She did a really good job. She only blurted out a question like, "Hey mom, what's that?" or something like 2 times. So we kind of sat her down. She had her water, she had her popcorn, and she was good, man. She was good, and we had the reclining seats, so she's like, "Ooh." Pushing the buttons up, down, like going back and forth. So she kind of entertained herself at times throughout the movie, but man, the movie was pretty good. A lot of dancing, a lot of music. Some of the songs, like I would put it like Coco's music is way better than Encanto. But at the same time, the story was really cool. Overall, Disney does it again. Another good movie. So, yeah. I mean, and then so I kind of wanted to talk about Genie Plus last, but we will save your news for last. Finally, I have Genie Plus is now being unveiled for Disneyland. It dropped for Disney World in Florida back in October, so it's finally right in perfect time for me to go down there and experience it. But for those of you who are not familiar with Genie Plus, let me give you the 411. There is 3 different tiers. So it starts tomorrow in Disneyland in Anaheim. There's Genie, where it comes kind of connected with your Disneyland app. So you connect it with your tickets and everything, and it's kind of like it is an itinerary setter. So you go in there to the Genie app, and you tell them, "Oh, I really like shows, or I like, fast rides, or I like, the kiddie rides," and it kind of or what kind of food do you like? "Oh, I love the churros there. Oh, I love the turkey legs." So it puts together like an itinerary for you, so you can kind of like, if you want to base your day off of that, then fine. Oh, you like the kiddie rides? Okay, you enter the park. First thing you want to do is go get to Peter Pan, because right now it's only a 20-minute line. Usually it's like over an hour. And then right after you get off the ride, if you're hungry, you can go grab a cup of coffee and like something for breakfast right outside there at a little thing. So it kind of puts together like a day's itinerary for you. Then you have Disney Genie Plus. The Plus, you add $20 per ticket per day. So it kind of adds up. I think we're going to try it like 1, maybe 2 days while we're down there. And what that gives you is the new lightning lanes, pretty much replacing the Fast Pass. So what you can do is right when you get into the park, you can, you have to get into the park and then upgrade and buy the Disney Genie Plus. And then you go in there and you'll do like a fast pass for Space Mountain, and it gives you a time. And so what you do is you can't do another lightning lane until two things happen. Either one. Either you ride the ride that you did the lightning lane for, or 2 hours has passed since you made the reservation. So if you made the reservation at 8:30 a.m. for like a 1 o'clock Space Mountain, at 10:30 you can make the next one. So that's pretty cool. And finally, the third tier is that there are upgraded rides. Yeah, exactly. So not only have you paid $20 per ticket per day for Disney Plus, but now you have three individual rides that you have to pay an additional fee to get to their lightning lane, and that is the Spider-Man Web Blasters at Avengers Campus, the Radiator Springs, like the Cars ride, and then also,
that thing's still that popular.
Hell
the
yeah.
Radiator Springs,
it's a really good
is
ride.
it? Wow.
And then,
I've been on that. I went on that thing like 4 or 5 years ago.
So the Web Slingers and the Radiator Springs, the racers, those both are in California Adventure, and the one that's in Disneyland Park is the Rise of the Resistance. That's like the newest big thing. So what you do is you pay the $20 per ticket per day for Genie Plus, and then depending on the date, time, and demand, you pay an extra between $7 and $20 per ticket to be able to go in the lightning lane for those three rides. So you're looking at, if you have 3 tickets, that's $60 for Genie Plus, and let's say you want to go to Web Slingers, and that's 3 more times 6, that's $120 just to go into a lightning lane for one ride. So,
Jesus. That's how they're getting people.
That's how they're
back.
making that's how they're making their money back from being closed for over a year.
That's their own personal inflation.
So there's the lowdown on the Genie Plus. We will be doing that for probably 2 of the days. I told my wife that we will experience it because we have to. I really want to get on at least the Web Slingers and the Rise of Resistance because we haven't done those rides yet. So we'll do the whole Disney, the Genie Plus pay the extra fee for those 2 rides, maybe Cars, and that's the first 2 days of our trip. And the second 2 days, we'll probably just go with the flow. Like just, not even Genie Plus, just kind of be like, we'll just wait in some lines. We'll just do like whatever. We have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. What more? Like you can't really put them on a schedule. Kind of just got to go with the flow until they're like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like your daughter's age, you can't really put them on like a certain set schedule because after a certain time, the little one's got to go down for a nap. So hopefully he sleeps in the stroller, and it just becomes. I can't set too high expectations for the day. Like I can't be like how I used to be, like, all right, as soon as we get in the park, you go get a fast pass for Cars. You go get a fast pass for Space. And I can't do that anymore. We just have to like go in there and just take the pictures by the train station and just kind of like I gotta just woosah a little bit and just go with the flow, man.
Even all full up blown out dad, ladies and gentlemen, with his New Balances, his all white dad kicks and everything, with his khaki shorts, his khakis.
But all right, Mark. So take us away on the entertainment with the not so good movies.
I'll take you away. I'll tell you right now, real quick. We always give it to you guys some box office numbers. Disney is not hurting. They're gonna get your money in a week and a half, Mike. But they are getting money, and they never stop getting it. They keep gobbling it up at the box office once again. 13.1 million even today. Yesterday, they're still reeling in about $750,000 per day on a Monday. People still don't got work and whatnot, but Encanto coming in as your favorite, Ghostbusters second, House of Gucci, been a couple controversies there. They come in at third, Eternals fourth, Christmas with the Chosen, the Messengers comes in at fourth. But those are your box office numbers for people that are interested. I didn't get to see Encanto, although Happy Meals right now are serving them up. You can get all your damn Encanto Happy Meal figurines at your local McDonald's right now. That is not a plug for MCD, but they do pay dividends, and they are on the Dow Jones. So if you're looking for a company with growth and valuations, there it is. But this is not financial advice. It's just the Comic Bookies podcast. Let's get into it. the sad story that we were going to say. I'm sure that anybody that is into entertainment, into comics, into this space that we here are prone to love at the Comic Bookies podcast. But yes, George Perez, the legendary artist known for his work on DC's Crisis on Infinite Earths, Wonder Woman, and as well as Marvel's Avengers and the Infinity Gauntlet, revealed Tuesday that the poor guy has been diagnosed with stage 3 pancreatic cancer. And Mike, you're grimacing. We just mentioned the terminal, it's
terminal, man.
Yeah, terminal, dude. You mentioned that he opted out to undergo treatment. He's 67. His cancer is inoperable, and doctors have given him between 6 months and a year to live. Mike, this is huge and sad news on the comic book world. He has been given the option of chemotherapy or radiation therapy, but after weighing all the variables and assessing just how much of any remaining days will be up by the furnace.
I mean, it sucks, dude. You know, and then he declines, treatment. What? It's not going to stop. We just have to do the noise cancellation. It'll be fine. I'd rather not edit all of these little points. Well, yeah, just to grab the noise. But now it's like just go through it and then it'll catch it. We don't have to stop every time. Yeah. It'll do the whole episode.
Really?
Whatever sound this is, it'll pick it up throughout the whole thing and cut it all out. So, yeah, man. I mean, that sucks. And then he's declining, treatment. So I don't know. If I were a gambling man, I don't like to gamble on people's lives. But unfortunately, this is like a classic, like fast killer. Unfortunately, I don't see him being alive and before the springtime comes. Man, this sucks.
Yeah, he's opted to let just nature take its course. He'll enjoy whatever time he has left. Kind of like this King of Spies story that I just told you about.
Yeah.
6 months to a year to live. Jesus. And I'm personally dealing with that in my life as well.
Yeah.
But that's for another podcast. But guys, that's why you always got to take life and live every day like it could be your last, and just don't take nothing for granted. It's crazy, man. Poor guy. We'll see what happens, but if you guys like his work, don't wait till he dies to buy it up and run the numbers up, because Nipsey Hussle, how many of these rappers pass away and then once they're dead and gone, their numbers run up like crazy and they don't ever get to experience it. So if this is your guy, let him be known before he goes in this terminal pancreatic cancer that he's dealing with.
It's not how we want to end podcasts, but that is how we're going to end episode 135. Again, thank you so much to Treasure Island. Thank you so much to the fans across the world who are downloading us. No new countries, unfortunately, to report for that, but the downloads are up, so thank you so much for supporting the podcast. We love what we do every single week. Unfortunately, we will not be here next week, as I will be gone in Anaheim. Sean's going to have a new baby boy, so we're just going to take a week off. But we will be here for the week of Christmas. Can't wait for that. But Mark, send us away for episode 135, man.
Definitely, everybody. Thank you for checking in. This has been episode 135 of the Comic Bookies podcast. For everybody that has been able to check us out live, even if it was only for 5 minutes, if it was to tell your buddies that we sucked, if it was to tell your mom and your dad that you loved us, if it was just to jot us down and maybe check us out later at a different time with one of your buddies, we don't give a damn. We're just excited to share our word, spread our love and knowledge for what is sports and comics and the whole entertainment realm in itself. There's so much to talk about each and every day. As you guys know, these damn podcasts are weekly, damn near 2 hours every damn week. We try to shorten them up, but we just have so much fun talking to you guys. So if you guys just listen 10, 15 minutes a day, by the time the next one comes out, you guys will be done with that one. You guys can listen to our beautiful voices about once a day. So thank you, fans. As always, this is the Comic Bookies podcast. It's always brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Check Alex out at TI Comics on all social media. You guys can always check us out, the Comic Bookies Podcast, at the Comic Bookies on Twitter, at the Comic Bookies on Instagram. You guys can always email us. We got Gmail, thecomicbookies@gmail.com. Drop us a line. Let us know how much we suck, how much we love us, or how much you love us, because we love ourselves. And nonetheless, thank you guys. Sad news in the entertainment world, but there's always news upcoming. There's always a new tomorrow. And thank you, Mike, Sean. We hope to have you back soon, but you are dealing with bringing your family to a whole different space, a whole different place, and growing your family like Mike and I have in these last recent years. So congratulations to you. You'll be back. These books are still coming. We're rolling. We're reading. We're doing all types of stuff for the holidays, but most importantly, we're staying safe. Hopefully you guys are too. The Comic Bookies Podcast, we love you, and this has been 135. Thank you, Comic Bookie Mark. We're out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let him go, Mike.
Also, don't forget to subscribe and follow our Twitch and YouTube pages. Maybe doing something live on Instagram or whatever at Disneyland next week. So look for the Comic Bookies to be live down in Anaheim at either DCA, Disney's California Adventure, or Disneyland Park. But for Mark, I am Mike. Good luck to Sean and his wife Marissa in the next coming days. By the next time we record, he will have a brand new baby boy, so we love you. Hope everything goes smoothly and every mama and baby are healthy. We hope you are all healthy. We love you all. Thanks to you so much for supporting the podcast, downloading, subscribing, listening, sharing, whatever you can do to help get our word out. Thank you so much. But this has been episode 135, the Comic Bookies Podcast. Enjoy the sports, enjoy the comics, and enjoy each other. Peace out. See y'all in Disneyland.
And you guys got 2 weeks to enjoy this beautiful episode of 135, because we will be off next week. We'll be coming back the week after for your enjoyment. And remember, always enjoy each other, because life's too short. As you can tell here with Mr. Perez, pancreatic cancer, you never know when life can cut you short. So as we always say, enjoy it. Enjoy it to the fullest, and be safe out there. This has been the Comic Bookies Podcast, and we love you. Peace out.